What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we're here on a Friday, hanging out down in the museum. We got the coffee on. And this is a show, a video, a showcase that I have waited a very long time to do. Over 50 years, to be exact. I've been waiting a long time for this figure to come back into my life. I did a video years ago on a Lone Ranger figure that I had. It wasn't in very great shape, and I made a promise that I wouldn't get another Lone Ranger until I was able to find that Lone Ranger in the condition, the M.I.B. condition that I wanted him in. And I searched and waited patiently for that day to arrive, hoping that that day would arrive. This is my grail of all grails of toys. There's no toy in my collection that means more to me than this toy. I shared the story years ago on my video about my Lone Ranger, my first connection with Lone Ranger. And let me pick him up. And it started back in 1974. A Woolworths, downtown Cleveland, Ohio, with my aunt. The first time I ever heard the words layaway. Didn't know what the word layaway meant. I just knew that walking into the toy aisle at Woolworths and seeing this box, I just went ballistic. And seeing the other box that had silver in it, and my aunt telling me to calm down, to relax. And I wasn't a coffee drinker back then, so I couldn't get no coffee. That's generally what relaxes me, is my coffee. But at 4 years old, she told me just to calm down, and that we could put Lone Ranger and silver into layaway. And I didn't still quite understand what all that meant. What I did understand at that very moment was that my aunt had silver and the Lone Ranger boxes in her arms, and we're headed up to the front counter to talk to a very nice lady. I remember it like it was yesterday, and it's been over 50 years. And the nice lady explained very, very calmly and very patiently to me that, and very sweetly to me, that they would protect Lone Ranger and keep him very safe with silver. And that we would be reunited one day. And on Christmas of 1974, getting up, we opened our presents at midnight. That was our way of doing Christmas. We opened it up at midnight. So waking up, 4 years old, 1974, and coming down my hallway towards the living room area where our Christmas tree was at, all the presents out, my bike, me and my sister's bike off to the side. My aunt, who always had just a beautiful pizzazz way of showcasing items. She did not wrap Long Ranger, and she didn't wrap Silver. Their boxes were left the same way we saw them at Woolworths. And I ran right to them. I don't think I played with another toy that night. That day, I remember the day like it was, the next day like it was yesterday. My only focus, the only thing I cared about was Long Ranger. Everything about this figure is the embodiment and the main reason why we have the museum, why the museum even exists. This one figure is the epicenter of everything. The joy, guys, I can't tell you holding this in my hands. We found this on eBay, and my wife made the purchase for me. God bless her. She knows what this means to me. I can't tell you the emotions that are running through me right now. The connection to my childhood memories are rushing back. My aunt is no longer with us. She passed on in 2005. I wish she was still here, because I would love to share this moment with her, because she knew how special this figure was to me. This is from 1975. So this was a later issue. Mine was from, I want to say it was 1974 for me. So my Long Ranger probably was a 1973 or a 1974 model. But this is from 1975. This is 10-inch. He's bigger than Amigo figure, obviously. And as you can see, everything is absolutely pristine. I've been to toy shops all over the state, outside of the state, different states, you name it. eBay, searching for toy shows and searching for this figure in this condition. The boxes are always open, but this box is in phenomenal condition. The one that I purchased, probably in the early 2000s, was in very poor condition. I just wanted to have a Long Ranger because, of the childhood memories. But this box, everything about this set right here is in phenomenal condition. As you can see, the bag is still sealed. Still sealed. Everything from his comic book to all of his items. And we'll flip him over a little bit. Let's flip him over a little bit. Get you. You can see there's the hat. His pistols are in there. There's his pistols. His mask is in there as well. There's the instructions. See if we can get you to look at that. Everything's perfect. The outfit, these outfits had a tendency to fade, become more of a grayish, rusty type gray. As you can see, this figure has been kept in immaculate, pristine condition. He's still got that beautiful blue. Boots are in great shape. Everything and still have a beautiful sheen to these boots. Hands are in great shape. Everything. These figures were prone to hands breaking off. They were very brittle, very, and it's crazy because my Long Ranger held up very well. There's this belt here. All the loops are there. When I was a kid, my Long Ranger held up. I was very careful with my Long Ranger figure. Very careful with him. The paint job, everything's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This guy was expensive. Very expensive. I knew at some point, if I ever wanted this figure, it would probably come down to that. But it was expensive, but I think it was a great price. And to find this figure, that's from 1975. Vintage. Vintage in every sense of the word. 1975. And this type of condition is absolutely amazing. Like I said, the box is in great shape. Let's look at this old price tag here. $5.88. I wish I paid $5.88 for this. But to get this in this condition, there's the Gabriel logo there. The daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains, the Lone Ranger. Rides again. Another fully jointed Lone Ranger action figure. And it just says that on the side, on the opposite side. But here's the side of the box here. Authentic outfit, hat, mask, belt and buckle, neckerchief, double holster set, 2 pistols, boots, Lone Ranger comic book. And there's that beautiful artwork that got me hooked immediately at 4 years old. Your thoughts, guys. We want to hear it all, guys, as I'm just beyond words here at the museum, drinking my coffee and holding a piece of history in my hand that connects me all the way back to the year 1974. Christmas of 1974. And hanging out in Woolworths back in November of 1974. And seeing this toy for the first time. And now to see it again in all of its splendor, untouched, sealed, mint. The first day that I saw it on Christmas Day, I don't have the words, guys. Your thoughts, your comments, guys. Do you have the Lone Ranger in your collection? Do you remember the Lone Ranger? He came with a lot of different play sets and things of that nature. Other action figures. Tonto, Butch Cavendish. There were some others. Red Sleeves. There was a lot of other phenomenal figures from this toy line, from the Gabriel Marks toy line. But Lone Ranger was the piece de la resistance. He was the crown jewel of the toy line. Rightfully so. I can't get over how perfect this poly bag, like I said, it's sealed. It's just everything that I wanted this figure to be. All of my expectations of this figure, all of my expectations are being realized in real time right now of holding this figure. this Lone Ranger figure in my hand. I mean, you could find on eBay, you can find him loose. He doesn't have everything, all the accessories. He's missing a gun or pistol, or he's missing his holster. He's missing, you know, his neckerchief. The outfit is beat up, damaged. He's missing a comic book. The box is beat up, if he even comes with a box. So finding this guy in this condition, this was the only condition that I wanted my Lone Ranger in. Like I said, we're an MIB museum. Toy history is what we, you know, we pride ourselves on, and the preservation of that toy history. We want to bring you toys like the day that they came off the toy store shelf, that they appeared on the toy store shelf, in packaging, in their box. And when I'm done with this video, this beautiful figure will go right back into his box. And we have a nice, beautiful place picked out in the museum for him to be on display. And where he will... Guys, listen, I'm beside myself right now. I'm absolutely beside myself. Everything, every toy down here has been because of this one figure I'm holding in my hand. I can't say it enough. This is the one figure that matters the most to me. This is the figure that, like I said, this is the figure that started. This might as well be the grandfather of all these action figures down here, because for me, this is what started me onto the road of collecting. You know, growing up wanting to collect toys and reconnect and find this figure at some point. And like I said, I saw him at some toy shows and the prices were astronomical that were being asked for him. Definitely didn't want to pay those type of prices at the time. But I wanted him. But I wanted him in this shape, this condition, untouched, unplayed with. Unplayed with. Clean. Perfect. Do you have Lone Ranger? Do you have Tonto? Do you have Silver? Do you have Smoke? Who do you have? Do you have any of the figures from the Lone Ranger Gabriel toy line? Gabriel and Mark's toy line. We want to hear all of it, guys. He actually came on a blister card as well. And I think those were from Europe, I believe. Those were from Europe. But I believe Butch Cavendish, Lone Ranger, and Tonto, I believe, Red Sleeves was also on a blister card. They were carded figures as well. But this is the one that I connected with, the one in the box. And as you can see, I could see probably was going to the carded figures was better, because kids would see this in a toy store, and I didn't have to physically see. I didn't physically see my Lone Ranger. I just saw the box. I just saw this, and it was love at first sight. It was over at that point. It was all over. Vintage Friday, guys. Vintage Friday. All the way from 1975. a classic, a legend. And we wanted to share this with you guys. Like I said, I can sit down here and drink my coffee and talk about this. I can't stop picking him up. I can talk about this figure all day. All day. But we're gonna get some more coffee. I'm gonna get some more coffee and really just try to take all of this in, of seeing this figure again, being reunited with this figure again, and all of the magical moments I had with this figure. 1974 Christmas. Guys, you know the routine. God bless. Stay safe. And by all means, keep collecting.